Karen, and I'm in Deconversion Therapy. And what about you? What's your name?
I'm Bonnie, and I'm down in Florida listening to all of the people outside who are still supporting Trump down here.
Oh, God. That would be really tough. I mean, everyone supports Trump in my neighborhood and in my neck of the woods, but because of that, there isn't a lot of standing on street corners and capri pants and visors like there is down there.
Yeah, and the same term that I used before, it seems like a racist dog whistle to me.
For them to do that? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of the people, it just seems like they're giving
saying,
people another code word for, hey, it's us, not them.
Right. Well, it's the whole thing also down there of the Cuban Americans who, and I'm Cuban American, who support Trump. You know, the people out standing where you are probably only see them as people who come cook their food and, mop their floors, but they're all into suddenly accepting them as long as they're voting for Trump, which goes into Seven Mountains Mandate, which we're going to get to in a minute.
Because I think people from that background are very religious.
Yeah.
Religious is a big thing. Religion is a big thing to them, specifically the religion of Jesus. Right. And so, oh my gosh, somebody who's going to glorify Jesus. Well, we've got to get behind them because that's what our church tells us to do. And our church tells us to read the Bible, and our Bible tells us to do this too. And so it's a big circle of telling us what to do. So we should start this by saying welcome to the podcast. You can also find us on the social media platforms of TikTok. And by us, I often say that means Karen. She does a lot of good content on TikTok. Instagram, that's one of my favorites because it's memes and just fun and silliness. There's a great Facebook group that you have to be let into.
Selected
you have to
by
be
God
selected
to get into.
But that's a really cool community, and people are very kind to each other in there and very nice to each other and supportive.
Right. And we let it run itself. I was saying last episode how during an interview, I was talking about our podcast. And one of the things I said is, we don't interfere too much with the Facebook group because if someone has an issue or a problem or asks a question, one of us answering makes our answer heavier, way more than other people's, just because we run the page and we don't want that because that's what deconstruction is about. We're a comedy podcast, but we talk about people who leave the church or do scandals, but we want everyone to think for themselves. You can support us when we start our cult, but until then, just...
Our Facebook page is like a dog park where no one is in charge and the dogs just run around.
That's right. It's Lord of the Flies in there. But everyone's super nice and all that. Oh, and yes, we have merch out. You can check on that. You can sponsor us for $5 a month. We really appreciate it. And the same with, we have a Venmo and blah, blah, blah. And it's all in the details. And I don't mean, hey, it's all in the details. I mean, like under here, where you see that writing, I put all the links.
Yeah.
For your laziness.
The show details of your podcast provider.
There you go. That's good lingo, Bonnie.
Isn't that what they are? Your platform, your podcast provider?
We're professionals. We've only been doing this 5 years. Yeah, I think so. That's how we talk when we're on the job. I want to start off this second part by doing what I saw a huge crowd doing that correlates with the Seven Mountains Mandates, which is called the Watchman's Decree. And I can have you
I don't like
repeat after me. So I know. So what they do, especially in like Turning Point America and Awaken America and all these bullshit things that are at big arenas and big churches where Mike Flynn is always there. They put this up on the screen and people stand up and do it like it's the Pledge to Allegiance.
Oh, okay.
It's like when you talk about seeing a cult, this is what it is.
Yeah.
It's absolutely wild. But you and I were joking when I talk about Mike Flynn that the name Mike is becoming very problematic. Mike Flynn, Mike
Pence.
What's Pillow Dude?
Johnson.
We got Mike
Lindell.
Pence, Mike Johnson, Mike Lindell, all of it.
Hunt.
They're all, yep, all of them. Michael Jackson. All right, so here's the Watchman's decree. Imagine thousands of people standing and saying this in unison. It's a little long, but we'll have fun in the, during the commas. Okay.
Oh, no.
As a patriot of faith, done. That's it. Do you see how they snipe? And it's capital P.
But patriot is another one of those whistles.
I know.
Yeah,
absolutely.
those dog whistle
I don't
things.
like people who aren't like us. Yeah. As a patriot of faith, I attest my allegiance first and foremost to the kingdom of God and the Great Commission, which is, the Great Commission is going into all the world and changing it to patriots, basically. Secondly, I agree to be a watchman. No, thank you. No, do not watch. Over our nation concerning its people and their rights to life. There's the abortion thing, they think. Liberty, that's them wearing a mask or not. And the pursuit of happiness, that's whatever.
Money.
That's Kirk Cameron movies. I don't know. But it's super scary. So then they have this whole thing and they say, whereas we, the church, capital C. So we have a lot of listeners who are never religious. What was that like? Nice. And when you see
how did you wait? If you didn't grow up
capitalized-
religious, how did you know what to do? Where was your moral center?
Exactly.
Why weren't you out killing people? Okay.
Yeah, and you were just created out of nothing? Give me a break. When you see a capital C for church, it just means Christians everywhere. Because supposedly people are the church, not the building. You're going to hear that a bunch. Although then they'll say, can we please have money for our church building? Anywho, we, the church, are God's, ready? Governing body on earth.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right.
This is, so many people believe this. Whereas we have been given legal power from heaven and now exercise our authority.
Heaven doesn't give you
bullshit.
legal power.
Nope.
No.
But from heaven. So that's why they always think like, I can do this even though it's against the law because God is more powerful. So during like the Pride gatherings when ministry people got around and got on their megaphones preaching the gospel, they were like, I'm sorry, you didn't get a permit. That's against the law. And that's when they say, God has given me the authority.
Yeah.
We're God's ambassadors and spokespeople over the earth. Over the whole fucking earth, Bonnie.
No, but this goes back to
they're not
that.
a little place.
This goes back to that whole thing in the Bible where we're supposed to be, what is it, stewards of the earth, and that is interpreted as caretakers, not
there you go.
People whipping it into shape. I mean, they're just a lot of generations, and they've made it impossible for us to care for it anymore by what
so
we've
they're rule
demanded it do for us.
Whereas through the power of God, we are the world influencers.
That's part of, wait, we're still on this decree thing? That's part of it still?
Oh, you should see. This is long. I'm not going to do
the
all
whole
of
thing?
it. It is long. They read the whole fucking thing.
Okay.
Because repetition and saying things out loud
Yeah.
is the key to indoctrination. I mean, The same thing with us saying the Pledge of Allegiance every day.
Which is brief. It's brief.
I know.
Come on.
I know. Yep. Okay, here's some fun parts. Because of our covenant with God, or our, agreement, our promise, we're locked in, we are equipped, are you? Are you though? And delegated by Him, that's God, to destroy every attempted advance of the enemy.
Okay.
There you go. Guess who the enemy is?
The people who are not like us.
The enemy is exactly. Non-Christians are now the enemy, and that is biblical. In the 80s, 70s, all that, again, like non-Christians were not seen as the enemy as much as they were like, oh, they're not saved, and that's sad. Now, the devil in you. So they want to destroy us as far as our influence on anything. Because this Seven Mountains mandate, if you go back to the last episode, are the key places or spheres of the world that anyone who believes in this philosophy, and a lot do, that the church or Christians want to be the head of, which is the home, the church, schools, governments and politics, the media, arts and entertainment, and even sports, and science, technology, and commerce. Those are sort of the seven.
I feel like they're trying to revamp a business that isn't doing well. Their ideas are maybe outdated. It's like Bed Bath & Beyond. Once Amazon came along and you could get everything without having to go to the store, Bed Bath & Beyond just couldn't revamp itself into something that was viable or
Right.
I don't know, what's that word I'm looking for? Pertinent?
Yeah. Right.
So this feels like what they're trying to do is just trying to become relevant again.
And it's by taking over. It's not by influencing with love. And we were always told, like, if there was a non-Christian who was mean to you, then what was it? There's a verse
Turn
about
the other cheek.
Pouring. That's a good one. Yeah. And just like loving them a lot so that they realize, you're not going to change because God is love and He gave you love and blah, blah, blah. Totally changed now.
Yeah, it's not leading by example. It's leading by force.
We're back to a vengeful God. Yep. So now, that was the whereases. Let me get you into the declarations. Number one.
God. They're numbered?
I know.
Okay.
Oh, there's 13 of them. Okay. We decree. Here we go. We decree that America's executive branch of government will honor God and defend the Constitution.
Okay.
Are you vomiting yet? See, and that's it. That's why they have to have Trump back, and they will support him no matter what. Does not matter if you're a good Christian. Does not matter if your son has to monitor your porn use, like our Speaker of the House.
By the way,
as long as you get him up there.
Okay, yeah. If you guys don't remember that we talked about this, or if you didn't hear it, the Speaker of the House,
or Bonnie doesn't remember.
That's right. So Mike, what's his name, Johnson, and his son, he talked about this a couple years ago when his son was like 17. So that must have been like senior year in high school, that they have that software on each other's devices that monitors it for pornography sites, or I guess they say any sites that aren't so, worshipful of Jesus. Yeah. So, okay. So follow the logic with me here though. If they have those devices being monitored for porn, shouldn't they just make porn illegal to start with?
Oh, I'm sure they're gonna. Yeah, that's in the plan.
Well, so why?
But until then,
why can't? yeah, but that's the thing. Like, if it's something that they want to make illegal, they're also acknowledging that they use it. So that is so hypocritical. And that they've got to
guess
have a
what?
child monitor you.
That's gross.
That's just so gross.
But the other thing is the people who make Covenantize that software, they get to make money.
Right.
And they're willing to give that money
for the greater good.
Right. Because it's going to be the greater good, and other people who are not Christians might purchase it, and then in the end, that is God winning. All that bullshit. It's insidious, I think is the word. Okay, God. Here's number 2.
Okay.
You're the ones that are stopping. You're the one. Okay, we decreed that our legislative branch, which is Congress, will write only laws that are righteous and constitutional. So they will try to reverse gay marriage. We know that. They have been trying. So when we see all these things, especially in Tennessee, and as a Tennessean, let me say this loud and clear. Please tell one other person, Tennessee is not fringe and crazy and out of pocket with the laws they've tried to pass. They're ground zero. They are where they are trying out all these things to see where the problems are, where the resistance is, what will work in other states. So everyone needs to be watching Tennessee, because this is an agreed, thing to watch. Okay, so they're only going to do their laws. Their judicial system, which is Supreme Court, will issue rulings that are biblical and constitutional. Hello, Coney Barrett lady.
Right. Yeah.
We declared that we stand against wokeness.
They use that word?
The occult. Yep. The occult and every evil attempt against our nation. So wokeness is evil. You realizing that indigenous people got their land stolen and are being given, the attention they need because they have a lot of missing, especially women right now. That's woke, Bonnie. So,
or that's evil.
You need to go back to sleep. It's evil. And they don't want that to be heard. And that's why one of their spheres is media, and they will suppress these things. And,
See, when you give examples like that of things that are called woke that aren't, there's no obvious evil genesis, it makes me realize even more, this is just about power. This is just about power.
Yeah,
they're just
white male power. Yes.
They're just building excuses to stay in control and getting to oppress other people.
Right, because wokeness is anything from the police department is abusing their rights to feminism in its even most mild form. It's, all of that. Anything, not just LGBT, just like basic things.
Human rights.
Including wearing a mask, including science.
Yeah.
Holy
all right,
shit.
what's the other?
Okay. Ready? Number 5. We declare and we now take back our God-given freedoms. I think that means shooting people. I'm not, it's, we'll figure this one out later. We declared that we take back influence at the local level in our communities. So that's why we saw so many Christian, conservative, right-wing, Moms for Liberty, people running for school boards. They understood that the lower level is how you get to the higher level. And you control locally and you control everything. There's a church, I was doing some research on this, and an example was given where this minister, I guess, is interviewing, or this news station, Christian News, is interviewing this young pastor in Texas. And what they do is they're like, here are the people who are Christian in our community who are running for things locally.
Right.
And they just let everyone know, and that's how they vote. Which, I mean, really.
So it seems, it just seems like then you're going to have a whole bunch of people deciding to declare that they're doing crappy stuff in the name of Jesus to get people on their bandwagon.
Oh, totally. Again, it really isn't if they're Christian or not. And when you say that Seven Mountain Mandate it wins and gets validated when it's non-Christian people who hold these traditional Christian views, and you don't care that they're not Christian, you're probably also not going to care their background, like George Santos.
Right.
And Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene. They're all Seven Mountain Mandate people. Number 7, we decree that we take back and permanently control positions of influence and leadership in each of the 7 mountains. So you can see that this is presented at Flashpoint, at all these things, and that people inside know what 7 mountains is.
Right. Right.
And that's why we're telling all of you to beware. We decree that the blood of Jesus... Go ahead. Listen, there's blood coming, Bonnie, but go ahead.
So if I put an ad out for myself and say, the realtor who really loves Jesus, and I get business from that, even if it's a lie, that's okay.
Of course. Or, yes, if you're making money and people see that and you're labeled as a Christian, that's okay for this. If you are not a Christian, but you're like, I'm the realtor that does not sell to gay people, I think that's against your oaths and all that. But
it's called a code of ethics.
That's the same. Oh, yeah, that ethics. Yeah. That's the same thing, too. Because you could be a Satanist, but if you say those things and adhere to those, then that proves that God's plan of the 7 mountains is valid. Okay, now let's get to blood.
Hold on, I'm taking out an ad. I'll be right back.
Okay, exactly. Hey, listen, we're changing from Deconversion Therapy podcast to Christian God, Jesus, Holy Mary, Mother of Peter. So next, I just love, now that I'm out of Christianity, I understand how crazy it is for anything to mention blood so casually.
Right.
All the time.
Right.
So we decree that the blood of Jesus covers and protects our nation. Does that mean First Nation
Not
people,
yours.
the ones that were before here? No. Nope. It protects and separates us for God. So it's protecting the U.S. and separates the U.S. for God. So, I mean, this is... Okay, ready for this one?
Again, why?
I love who put these together because, they prayed over it. But there's also just some ones that sound like the guy at the end of the table got thrown a bone. He got to put one in or something. But we declared that our nation is energy independent. So that is definitely wanting not to depend on Saudi places and Iran and all that for oil and blah, 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 blah. We declare that America is strong spiritually, financially, militarily, and technologically. I'll tell you, it is strong in all those. But that is how you judge things is shitty.
It's in your declaration.
We declare... I know. So declaring is also a spiritual thing. It's sort of like manifestation, but in Christian terms, it's called walking in the opposite spirit, and it's that your words are heard by Satan. So God can read your mind. Satan can't. So when you say things out loud and you say them in the positive, etc., then there you go. Then it can become true. And when you speak against it,
you're talking about manifesting, which you don't agree with.
That's what I said. I said it's like that bullshit manifesting. Okay, no. So we decreed that evil carries no power, authority, or
Okay.
rights in our land or over our people. That means sorry, gay people, sorry, people of color, sorry, Bonnie. We decree that we will operate in unity. Uh-oh.
Organization.
There's that problem right there, Christians. We don't see any unity. Going beyond denominational lines in order to accomplish the purposes of God for our nation. So there you go.
That's why Mike Lindell goes to a Catholic-owned Hardee's / Carl's Jr. as an establishment for a fast meal.
They will join with the Mormons,
Right.
who they don't believe, or all this stuff. Number 13, lucky number 13, and we decreed that, and then someone did the all caps, America shall be saved.
Okay.
Now, there is a refrain. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The refrain is, we know this country was founded on Judeo-Christian principles. We know the truth. Therefore, we stand for the truth and will, all caps, never be deceived. We will never stop fighting. We will never, ever, ever give up or give in. We will take back our country back. We will honor the one true God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. America shall be saved. Thank you very much. The end. What a horrendous, scary thing.
These are clearly people who are living in fear. They are afraid because they're on the losing end of stuff. Things change. And sometimes you're going to become the other. And I think that they're just living in fear of that.
Oh, they're absolutely. They're living in fear. They're absolutely wanting power. And there's still a whole bunch of earnest people who believe this because they feel it's from God. And you mix that in with the shady people who just want the business because they run the Christian bakery, then you've got a whole,
I don't think that I don't
mishmash.
think these people really think that they are chosen by God. I'm trying to think how to say that. I'm sorry.
I did, Bonnie.
What?
That's the thing. Like when I was a Christian, I was totally earnest in believing I wanted to be closer to God and what is God saying to the church? What is the message for this generation? Like all that stuff. Luckily, I was out before these things came out. And I would hope that I wouldn't have fallen into I would have fallen into Seven Mountains Mandate for sure, but not at the point of making other people suffer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just seems like a nice excuse for a way to seem like you're the one who knows the most.
I do. Oh, I mean, yeah, that's it. I mean, can you imagine a deity is on your side? A deity. So if you believe that, then of course you're quote right.
Yeah, I just think that it's a lot of hubris.
I agree. It's absolutely hubris. And I think a lot of people who want this, again, it's all the white mics is what we're going to call this. And it's all the fear and it's all the, I love my transgender kid, but I love Jesus more people.
Right.
They're blind. They're blind. Let me quickly talk about some of the things that we're seeing in other parts of this lovely Seven Mountains. One of them is arts, entertainment, and sports.
Oh.
Have you seen the rise of the masculine gym bro with the big crosses and the big Jesus shirts, and they do videos of them pumping iron, and then they put a Bible verse over it? It's all on TikTok everywhere.
No, but what did they have to gain? Followers?
muscle. It's to show, like, I'm a warrior, I'm masculine, I'm buff, but of course they want followers. But what they're trying to say is, like, fitness is Christian also. Like, this is a way we honor God with our bodies. And there's now fitness, Christian fitness companies that sell very small leggings for women, which I feel that Jesus would not approve of.
You mean very tight leggings?
Correct. Tim Tebow, that he got huge as being the Christian spokesperson for nearly just all sports.
Right.
Not just football. And then we have our great entertainment. I mean, Kirk Cameron.
But there's only so much crappy entertainment people are going to allow to seep through. I mean, they've got to have some kind of standards and ratings for things, and people aren't going to go to all the movies that Kirk Cameron puts out if he keeps putting out crappy movies. I mean, I don't think he does put even out a movie. I don't know what he does.
Yeah, he has. Kirk Cameron Saves Christmas came out a few years ago. Don't forget. It's the season. No, they absolutely do. So I live in the neighborhood and the town where there's some big, quote, Christian producers of all the movies you've seen in the news and you guys have heard of. And Christians will go and support it. Just like when we did the Tim Ballard stuff. Oh, and there's drama with that. We've got a whole nother episode we're going to do that you don't know about. We'll see. Anyway, the way they do it is they have churches give money to buy up tickets, and then they give those tickets away to people, especially who aren't Christian, but the numbers go up. The same with, oh no, is his name Mike too? Who's the Mars Hill guy? His name's Mark Driscoll. So remember why Mark Driscoll blocked me? Because he has had best-selling books, but it was because he used his church's money to buy up the books at pre-sale to give away, which put him up on the pre-sale list. So, like, these things are becoming successful because non-Christians, we don't have all these people gathering every week and connecting.
Organizing.
How to make these. Organizing, promoting these shitty things.
I still say, though, you know what? Go ahead, give it a try. I just don't think you're going to come out on top. Go ahead. Give it your best shot.
Yeah.
Mikes of the world.
I don't think they're going to win an Oscar.
No.
But, they're going to get in the news, and to them, it validates this whole philosophy. And then the person that they've been talking to about it, who's like, that's bullshit, is going to start going, hey, you're right. Hey, a Christian movie did end up in the box office doing really well. And that's the danger of slowly sucking in more people to like Kirk Cameron in the first place.
Yeah, and I can see how, it could go the way of the Nazis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're very true. Yeah. You're very right. You've got that correct. We've got the Creation Museum. So the fun part, which I say all the time, is they take what the secular world has done and they do a shitty version of it rather than just doing a version first.
Right.
So we've got all those things. There was something on TikTok recently, a few months ago. A black artist, singer, did some song, very catchy, this young child. And I don't remember it.
Was it Kanye West?
But it was not.
Oh.
It was not. Guess what? He falls into this, and I'll tell you in a second. But so this white Christian woman decided to rewrite the lyrics and sing it.
Oh.
And people were, and all the Christian talk loved it. And a lot of Christian and non-Christian black people said, guess what? You all steal enough of our stuff.
Ooh.
Don't bastardize this woman's art and turn it into your shitty thing. And the same was going on with, people who support, of course, Black people who are like, why would you even do and have to turn it Christian?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of rap that they're doing this. And to me, it's secondhand embarrassment. It's like, write your own thing. Even though what you write sucks, at least give it a try.
Well, yeah.
At least give it a try.
Like you were even saying before, like the Hillsong music, you thought that was good.
Yeah.
And that was just more
I know.
original than, changing the words to an Eagles song to say that.
Yeah, I know. I love that. We've gotten a few, though, the people writing our letters where they do that. That's exactly right. And, of course, then you're in a room with all the other people singing it, and then, of course you feel stuff. But Kanye West absolutely is another example of this, because no matter what his behavior is, he's a top-selling artist, and that he now says he's Christian, whether it's Kirk Franklin, who did a bunch of sinning, like that. This is where we see all the forgiveness and the overlooking of all the terrible people because of that decree and because of 7 mountains.
Which seems really strange because they sure like to be judgy, in my opinion. I don't get it. All of a sudden, people are easily forgiven if you slap the name Jesus on your shit. Okay.
And
I'm taking out an ad. I'm taking out an ad.
Far and wide. Take it.
No one will care.
But this is far and wide with... People need to know this in America. Everyone needs to read that decree. Everyone needs to see this and understand that, this is why they forgive all the assholes and why they pull in Justin Bieber and why they, allow different assholes who, like, I already said, Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk, all these people to be mouthpieces. Because it doesn't matter if they're not that religion. It doesn't matter that Candace Owens is a color that they oppress and despise. She is being used for traditional values. So we're going to support her and give her a microphone and money.
So what about all the shirts that say "Be kind"?
They aren't selling. We know that there are great Christians out there, but I will say they are the ones that reject that decree. They're the ones that actually understand that Jesus didn't go around conquering the people that weren't following him.
Right.
He didn't go, he lived among them. And he said, unto Caesar, give Caesar his coin. There's my Karen's translation. As in, that's separate from me. I'm Jesus. He's Caesar. Caesar wants a tax. People, give it to him. But this is definitely changed. All of it.
I still think it's a way of making money and being on top and getting to oppress people. Doesn't seem genuine to me.
You're still not wrong.
Yeah.
There's a talent agency called 7M Films. There's a lot of things. Followers of this are, Paula White, Raphael Cruz, the pastor and father of Ted Cruz. Big 7 Mountain Mandate dude.
I was looking up different companies to try to see what kind of Christian companies were out there. And I came across a website, and it's called The Faith Driven Consumer. And in order to shop these different shops that are faith driven, you have to join. So you've got to pay $25 to get to join and shop for these places. So everyone's making money off of it. Everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God.
Everyone's making money off of it, and everyone is using it. And I mean, they're going to say, "Oh, well, you have good and bad people and everything," but that's the magic of this. The loopholes built in. Doesn't matter if they're good or bad, as long as the outcome is gay people are probably not good. Then you're good. And abortion, and all that bullshit. Crazy. So there's also a website called Vote Common Good.
Oh, God.
That is going to get you your 7 mandates all up in there. And then there is this Bible that Lauren Cunningham put out, or because, it's a big mission organization, they have translators for the Bible and for their skits, and they have people in every country and all these things. So they were getting the Bible translated into, let me see what it's called.
Were they translating it for mimes? Because you had all your mime work that you were doing.
Yes, that's what I was doing, as you know, my stupid little things. It was something like Bible View or View something, but it's a Bible that has the 7 mandates in mind. So they're color-coded, so when you get to a verse, you go,
no.
this is talking about the influence and how we should do the entertainment industry. This is talking about this. So, yeah, it's pretty bad.
I just can't see how
wide.
They've just abandoned do unto others, haven't they? That's kind of thrown out the window, right?
I don't think they sing and they will know we're Christians by our love. I think that's not there anymore either. They've turned Rich Mullins' song, Our God is an Awesome God, into a thing of awe, to a thing of, yeah, he'll get you. That's right. He's in power. He's going to triumph. And that is absolutely not what Rich Mullins had.
So it's like our God is a bossy God. Our God is a controlling God. Okay.
Yup. And say, let us know. Please write us. Please comment. On Spotify, you can now do question and answers. But, Bonnie, although I always see you as the nice one out of us, you really are into they have ulterior motives. And I'm always like, I think a lot of people are blindly benevolent, and that ends up making them dangerous.
What too.
Do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think it's a big mix with a lot of this stuff. So that's it. We love you. We appreciate you.
And don't forget to send in your
go mountain climbing.
And don't forget to send in your true stories so we can read more of your things that make you feel uncomfortable, that we can enjoy laughing with you about.
Yeah, not at you. And if you have any 7 mountain things, tell us. Or any funny Christian companies near you or stores.
Yeah.
I always love that.
Well,
Especially
it's going to be me. I'm taking
ones.
out an ad and using Jesus as a logo now.
How about Bonnie Christ?
Yeah, because Jesus. Right. Okay.
Yeah. How about Won't He Do It Realty? Okay, see you guys.
All right, bye.